Hey guys, we're back again.
Hey, hey.
We are up to episode 27, and once again, as usual, Hell 22 here in the headquarters with none other than Murmaider.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
It's just us again. We thought we were going to have Chester. There was that small period of time where we thought Chester was going to make it, but
Not today.
not today.
He'll be back. He'll be back
back.
soon. It's been a while, actually.
Yeah,
Now
it's
that I
been a
think
long
about it,
time.
that he has been on, and we haven't had a guest in over a month now. I
Yeah,
want to
well,
say.
we'll have to get someone else on this shit at some point.
Yeah.
But listen, we got some reviews to talk about here, and then a nice trendy topic to talk about after that.
Okay.
So let's get into the meat of the matter here, Murmaider. That was a lot of M's right there. We're going to talk about your first review you did this week, a band from Russia called Fading Waves.
Yep. The band is called Fading Waves, and they just released a new EP called The Sense of Space. And it's post-metal. I've really been listening to a lot of post-metal lately.
You have.
I mean,
you have.
you know, that being Junius and Alcest, we've been going through a lot of stuff like that. But, I mean, this is another one. I don't know. Maybe I'm purposely looking for it. I don't know. You know how I go
think
through
you
my
are. Yeah,
phases
you
of
can-
different
yeah, you
black
had-
metal
yeah.
I was going through for a while. And so, yeah, these guys are a post-metal band. The EP started out slow. There was a short introduction, and then afterwards followed by another track that had a lot of just synths and strings going on throughout most of it. Not too much crazy guitar work or anything like that. And I don't know. After the first couple of minutes, it kind of made me want to just skip to the next track. You kind of started hearing the same stuff. And
Is it a long track?
it's a long track. As you go through the EP, it gets better. It gets a lot heavier. A song called "Perforate the Sky" was one of my favorites. It has some crazy guitar chugging throughout the whole song. It's very aggressive. The growling that comes in the beginning of it, the verses have really strong, like harsh growling that I really liked. And later, they end up lightening the mood with more calm instruments, and female vocalist comes in and has some clean singing that goes on, and really shows a really nice Beauty and the Beast type of feel throughout the album, and I really liked it. It was good. I would definitely suggest checking this band out. I know I'm going to be going back to them for sure. And,
Now, it's a one-man band, right? And then he has a bunch of guest musicians and singers on the album?
Yeah, yep. So and I feel like that helped it become more each track unique in its
It's
own
got
way.
someone else
because he had
working on it.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of one of the things we talk about. You know, the challenges of being a one-man band is that it's usually just you.
Right.
So there's no lateral movement whatsoever.
Yeah, no one can agree or disagree with
Yeah.
you. And here, at least having some guests, I like the idea.
He's got some other input.
Yeah. Okay, so now moving on, you did a new review this past week from Morito Ergo Sum, right?
Yep. They actually have a new EP just came out. The EP is called Moonchild. Now, the reason it's called Moonchild is because the last song on the EP is actually a cover of a King Crimson song by the name of Moonchild. Really, really good EP. And this is a band, they had an EP last year. It was kind of a demo / EP called I Die, Therefore I Am, which is the translation of their band name. And they're from Sweden. The original EP was good, but it was kind of, I'm going to say it was a little flat because it was just two guys in the band. It was the main guy, whose name is Paolo. He, did all the music, and then he had Walter Basile as his singer. The guy's got a great voice, but the original demo was a little flat because it was just it was basic. It was just basic doom. Now, they filled out a full band. They've got, 4 members. They got a true guitar player. They've got a bassist. They can't get a drummer, though. Seemingly, they've had trouble getting a drummer. So the lead singer, Walter, actually does the drumming on the EP as well. He's actually a really good drummer. But anyway, having the full band really rounded out the sound. And now they're doing stuff with Doom that I think is kind of important. It's completely clean singing. No growls, no screams at all. So, you kind of get an idea that it's very melodic. This Walter Basile's got a great voice, so that helps the fact too. But the music is really cool because it kind of takes a traditional Doom sound to the music, but they have live violins on the album.
Really?
Which is one of my favorite parts because the violin always seems to kick in just at the right minute to give that little extra oomph. but definitely, I mean, the EP's, it's 3 songs and a cover. The 3 songs are all absolutely great. And the cover of the King Crimson song is fantastic. Right. And the great thing is that because it's a Doom album, the songs tend to be long.
Right.
So 3 songs, the first song is just over 8 minutes. The second song is over 8 minutes. The third song is 9 minutes. So you're still talking 25 minutes of new original music. And none of the songs drag. There's this constant momentum moving forward. It's not just the same 3 chords repeated over and over again. And one of the big differences from the original EP to this one is they added in solos. The original one was just basic guitar framework. This one has a lot of great solos, a lot of great drumming. The recording of the album is beautiful, very crystal clear.
That's good.
So this is definitely one you should check out.
Cool.
You can actually listen to the album on their Bandcamp page. So I suggest that you get over there and do that, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really don't. If you like Doom and all. Murmaider, you did some work this week too. You did a review for a band from Greece. We don't do that often, but a band from Greece. Name of the band is Hedon, Cries.
Yeah, Hedon, Cries. They just came out with their new album called "The End of the Path Is Nigh," and I have to say I had a hard time picking what kind of genre they are considered, because I ended up in the review just kind of saying that they were like a type of death metal, but they had a lot of different sounds, like from death metal riffs to some thrash metal sounds also, and even some of the growling was almost like a darker black metal.
Interesting.
The album overall, I wasn't crazy about it. It had its moments, and I think I really enjoyed the growling throughout the entire album. There wasn't any time that the growling weakened or the vocals were bad at all. It was good the entire time. I think it was more the instruments that kind of bored me at points, I guess. There was a lot of, basic instruments or basic melodies, and I feel like if they added in a little more solo, if they added in some more solos in their songs, that I think it would have spiced things up a bit, I guess. They did have a couple towards the end of the album that I really liked, but like I said, there wasn't anything that really jumped out. It wasn't a bad album. It just like I said, it's nothing that jumps out and makes you want to listen to them over another band.
Yeah.
I think they have a lot of potential, and I would definitely keep an eye out on their stuff as they keep coming out with new music, because I think that eventually when they find their way of their own genre, once they get everything together right, then I think that they're going to be a really good band. So
I mean, it's just kind of, the music was a little stale. It was just kind of the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they got a good vocalist, I guess. So that's a good start.
Right. Yep. The recording and everything was good, though. The quality was good. So I mean, that's definitely a good start. But now the other one you did was My Dying Bride's new album, actually.
Yeah, I was really excited when I saw they had something new coming out.
Yeah.
I want to make very clear right from the start that this is not Evinta Part 2.
Okay.
That was a one-off creative endeavor where, you loved it. I know, I didn't like it as much as you did, but I still liked it, where it was, the orchestral and the beautiful singing. And,
I was actually just listening to it today.
Well, there you go. Sing it. Apparently you did like it.
Yeah.
So I think I was a little worried that maybe they were going to go in that direction, kind of permanently.
Right.
But no, they're back with a new EP, and it's typical My Dying Bride. It's one track, 27 minutes long. So right there, you're going to get something kind of epic.
Yeah.
The name of it, and God forbid I mispronounce this, but it is called The Bargist o Whitby, which is, Bargist apparently is a specter of sorts, a ghost. Basically, I'll describe it as a ghost dog.
Okay.
Not the movie Ghost Dog about the Black Samurai, not that one. Uh-huh. It's basically a ghost that's said to always take the form of a large black dog, claws, fangs, you name it. And it's kind of been a mainstay in English folklore, and in particular in the town of Whitby. So, it's an entire kind of 27-minute concept about this creature.
Right.
So, 27-minute track, it's basically, it plays out almost like the Swallow the Sun Plague of Butterflies EP, where there's 3 distinct parts to the track, which my one problem with this whole thing is I kind of feel like they should have broken it up into 3 separate tracks because there are 3 very different pieces. The first one is kind of this raw production, starts out with like the heavy drums, and he's not singing clean in the beginning, which is different. You know, Aaron Stainthorpe kind of has that, I'm not going to do it, I've done it on 30 podcasts before this, I'm not doing the voice again. But he has a very signature sound.
Okay.
And he's not doing that. He's almost like doing this like wicked kind of screaming, and it was so weird because that was the first vocal that came through my headphones was that.
Yeah.
And then it's like that piece goes on, a little bit of the melody comes in, you're like, okay, sounds like My Dying Bride. The second chunk is just pure My Dying Bride, exactly the way you would think. He's doing his voice, you know, the tempo is down, it's exactly what you would expect. Then the third part kicks in. I don't know, you know, maybe something happened to them during this whole Evinta cycle.
Yeah.
This is the heaviest shit I think I've heard them do ever. It is just non-stop double kicks. The drums are just heavy as shit. There's just non-stop snares, cymbals just crashing everywhere. The guitars, it's 2 guitars and they're playing off each other, just distorted chord after distorted chord. This one plays a riff, then this one comes back with another riff. And he's not singing, he's screaming, which is, you just don't expect it.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, there's some like really devilish growls, you know, the stuff that you usually find in a lot of your black metal stuff. He's just kind of just belting it out.
Jeez.
I was pretty blown away.
Yeah.
And like the last 2 minutes is just basically, it's a musical outro, and it's just the heavy drums, heavy guitars. It's just absolutely nuts. I was really impressed with it. Like I said, the only problem I had was I do wish they split it up into 3 separate tracks. Because this is going to be one where I'm going to find myself kind of, well, I really want to hear the heavy part, or maybe I really want to hear the melodic part. And, you know, I think that in this case it might have been a mistake, but, you know, as I said in the review, after 20 years of being a band, who am I to complain?
Yeah.
But, you know, listening to that got me thinking, as we were talking about before, about Doom and how the Doom genre is changing.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about this once before, how, you know, My Dying Bride is kind of considered like the standard for traditional doom metal. But now, even they've changed. Evinta, that was fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah. But now, Evinta was from years ago, correct? That they've had these ideas for a while. It wasn't all freshly written.
Yeah, they were built-up concepts.
Right. So even that, technically, it's like, imagine they put half of that out then, you know, it was still technically kind of different than some of the stuff they sound. So, I mean, a lot of Eventas sounded like them, but they really went like classical in that album.
Yeah. And that was a complete departure from
anything,
Not that Doom and classical are that far apart, because a lot of times there is that, the violin
element. But this album, they had like the opera singer.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the first
which I thought
track.
was the best part of the album, was,
getting
the female voice in there.
Yep.